There are two concepts in genealogy that, when practiced consistently, can improve your research success 10 times or more. We'll talk about that in today's video. Thanks for watching today's video, fellow roadie. Not all genealogy success depends on how successfully you use genealogy databases like Ancestry.com or FamilySearch.org. Learning to use them can certainly help you advance in finding your family history, but there are two concepts that can help you multiply your success in those databases by at least 10 times. Now, before I get into these concepts, I want to mention that this video was inspired by a friend of mine that visited me recently. I was helping him a bit with his family history while he was here, so thank you, George, for inspiring me. Now, what are those two concepts? They are focus and patience. Now, hear me out. I'm not going to preach because I'm very much going to be talking to myself here. I always need to remind myself of these concepts. First, focus. You may have heard the term going down a rabbit hole or maybe chasing after squirrels. Now, these are broad terms for losing focus on what you're doing and going on to something else before you complete the task you started doing. In researching family history, that could be looking in census records for somebody specific, then finding another name that you recognize, then going on a hunt for that other person. Like I said, I've certainly done that. I continually have to keep pulling myself back to my original search. Now, sometimes I even abandon that original search. Then I have to go back and remind myself of any progress I made on that original search. Have you done that? Let me know in the comments below if you have. One way I've found to manage my focus when I see something else that interests me is to just jot down something that will remind me where I saw that other person. Now, that way I can refer to that note or notes when I get to work on that person. In that way, it only interrupts my focus for a few seconds before I get back to the task at hand. Now, after I finish with my original research, I can enter the information on the other person in the research log in my genealogy program. Or, you can just put that piece of paper where you jotted down that information into a file on that person, if that's how you manage your family history. The second concept is generally related to the first. Patience. Oh boy. If I have problems with focus, patience only makes that problem worse. Of course, when I see that other name, I want to find information about that person as soon as possible. I need to remind myself that genealogy is a marathon, not a 100-yard dash. Or, I don't know, maybe it's an ultra marathon. Or one of those Ironman competitions where they run a marathon, ride a bike for a humongous number of miles, and then swim across the Atlantic Ocean and back. Well, okay, maybe I exaggerated a little bit, but sometimes trying to exercise patience can be as challenging as an Ironman competition, I think. Have you found that to be true, fellow roadie? Let me know in the comments. I wish I had some magic formula to help me be more patient. The only thing I've ever tried is to reflect on the fact that each generation doubles in size, so that, for example, if you go back 5 generations, that's 32 direct ancestors. Well, it's not too bad. But if you go back just another 5 generations for a total of 10 generations, that comes out to 1,024 direct ancestors. Plus, in my case, I'm also working on my wife's ancestors, so that comes out to 2,048 direct ancestors. Now, no, that number doesn't scare me. It just makes me realize that there are lots of ancestors out there, and they're not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, if I don't get the sum for a while, well, maybe there will be more sources available that will make it easier to find them at that point. So sit back, relax, take your time, and do it right. Make sure you're finding the right person with the right sources. And maybe this YouTube channel can help you along the way, okay? Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on the road to your family history.